Hey guys, welcome to Kangaroo Royale. I'm going to talk about a few cards that should have been added but weren't, or are about to, or they're putting it off for second time. The first one is the Rocketeer. It was, I think, in my opinion, one of the first cards that were released into Clash Royale. One of the first cards that were leaked. If they weren't, don't just correct me in the comments, but the Rocketeer is basically essentially a skeleton strapped to a rocket, maybe used as like a card if the rocket can't take it out, no matter what, and the skeleton can do the last hit. Yeah, I don't think there's much use for it. It might have been overruled or something like that. It's not really a use. It's probably as a fun card, kind of like some cards. I'm trying to think of a fun card that doesn't really have a particular use. Well, I guess all of them have a use, but it's more of a fun card. If they do add it, I'll be surprised, because it doesn't really have a practical use, unless the one I just said, which is a pretty good use, but not entirely needed, because if you have another ranged thing in your deck, you can just use that, if you're that desperate. But another, if there's any other uses for it, and you know it, and you know that it's a fact, you can say it in the comments. Second one is the heal spell. I know they already added this, but currently they told us that Clash Royale was not going to add heal spell, and for very good reason. I agree with them nerfing it a lot. They haven't actually nerfed it, but how weak it is and how its range is very, very small. I agree totally with this. People may be mad about this, but I agree totally. If it was the range of a Rage, I would be totally outraged, because sorry for the background. I'm in a unsealed part of my house, but anyways, if it was the range of a Rage spell, I would not like it at all. I mean, it would heal so many troops, it would not be decent for the other player, it would just be too overpowered. So I agree with them on the size of a free spell type of thing. Yeah, and the heal spell itself is overpowered even now, because we've all been waiting for a heal thing. Even I have, but I didn't really... Like, if it didn't come at all, I wouldn't be very devastated. I wouldn't even have a care in the world. I wouldn't really care. I would just think it would be decent. The heal spell, pretty good. If you level up really high, it might be really good. But I personally don't have it, and I personally don't care if I don't. I haven't been using it, and I'm fine with not. The second card is a card that's already been added. They overruled it before. It's the bats. They are really adding they really have a lot of air attackers now. Well, they have more ground attackers than airs. But the bats they're basically minions, but not ranged. I'm just gonna say, they're basically minions. They are minions. They are minions. I mean, they may not be as powerful, but they are minions. I mean, originally, I think the dark skeleton, or what I call the dark witch, what I call the night witch, I think it's called the night witch, but I call it both. Anyway, it was originally gonna spawn minions, but I don't think that would have been a good idea. That would be too overpowered. But yeah, that would be way too overpowered. And the third card, and this is the last one I'm going to talk about, is, I think it is called, I'm trying to find it. Wait, hold on. And I found it. I believe it is the Giant. It was an original, pretty sure it's the Giant. I think it's either the Giant or Royal Giant. Some of them, they overruled it, but then ended up adding it like the heal spell. But it's the Giant. Not the Giant, the Royal Giant. They did not want a ranged giant that had a lot of HP, so I think they lowered it. But the giant itself is pretty good. The Royal Giant is more of an overpowered card when it first came out. If it had the same health as a giant or more, it would be more of an overpowered card, kind of like the Sparky, except ranged and like quarter of the damage. Speaking of that, I think Sparky should be nerfed. If you don't agree with me, sorry. But yeah, that's all the cards. I think the third one might have been a misunderstanding. If it is, just leave it down in the comments. Also, I know what else you should do about our channel. You should like and subscribe it. It really shows your support. And I will see you guys later.